Shalom, Lord of Christ. This is ISUPK, the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. This is Thursday night class, scripture breakdown class. You know what I mean? Whatever, brothers, any questions brothers might have, you know what I mean? We'll try to get it on or whatever. Yeah, man. So Vegas was dope. You know what I mean? We was over there representing. You know what I mean? So hopefully next year, you know what I'm saying, we brothers come out. Maybe next year it'll be in California, who knows? But you know what I'm saying? Big shouts out to Vegas. Big shouts out to Vegas, Captain Gadalhart, Captain Cuomo. Shout out to everybody, you know what I'm saying? That was like a dope trip. Very expensive. But very, very expensive. Like Vegas is just like not the place you should go if like you trying to save some bread. I mean, y'all know, you know what I'm saying? Y'all went, so you know what I mean? Like that, you gotta really plan Vegas trip out because man, I mean, it's like a room that's like, $20 on Wednesday will be $500 on Friday. Salaki, this hold on. Wow, this all right. All right, give me 1 second. This thing. What you say?
I did this last week too. Shut the camera, shut in.
Yeah. It looked like, let me see. Give me 1 second, y'all. I had a little technical difficulties. All right, there we go. Looks like this thing ain't even getting powered up. All right. This shit ain't even coming on.
Is it getting powered?
Yeah, it don't look like it's the light's supposed to come on. Yeah, it's look like it's plugged in. Oh, wait a minute.
There it goes.
There it go. There it go. All right. Just gotta switch it back. Slovakia. All right, so we get right there. All right, there we go. All right. So, anybody got anything? Any questions or anything? Can we get started? What's going on? Yeah, no sweat. All right. So, while the brother trying to find out or whatever. What is that? All right. Here we go. I did want to go to, if you could pull Proverbs 23:7. Yeah, Proverbs 23:7. And let's see. Ecclesiasticus. Let's see. Slovakia. Ecclesiasticus 13th chapter. But you had you had a question. You want me to come back? It's fine.
No, we're at the scripture where I wanted to go.
What you say?
We're at the scripture where I wanted to go.
All right. What is it?
Proverbs 23:7. That's what I wanted to go to.
That's where you want to go?
Right.
Word? All right, Most High Christ. All right. All right, let's get it. I'm just gonna get there with you real quick. All right, what was your question in it?
I just wanted like a quick breakdown on, you know what I mean, like what does it mean when you think in your heart, so are you?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, no sweat. 23 and let's go up to 23 and 2. All right, so okay. All right, let's start at 1. Let's start at verse 1 and we'll go down to 7, right? Now, y'all already know about Proverbs. Kwayashma, who was Proverbs written by? Yeah, just trying to, get everybody going. You know what I'm saying? Anybody can answer.
King Solomon.
Right, Solomon. Always remember, okay, you got Psalms, King David. You got Proverbs comes after that. That's Solomon, right? Ecclesiasticus, ain't that Solomon too?
Proverbs, Ecclesiastes, and
Ecclesiastes, Song of Solomon, Wisdom of Solomon, right? Ecclesiasticus and Ecclesiastes, right? And then Wisdom of Solomon is Solomon too, right? And who else? What else? I think that was it. You said Jeremiah?
No.
Nah, Jeremiah is.
I was Lamentation. Jeremiah did Lamentation, right?
Yeah, Jeremiah. And it didn't wasn't Baruch in there somewhere too? Wasn't Baruch a scribe? He was a scribe too, right? For Jeremiah, right?
You said wisdom of Solomon too, right?
Yeah, wisdom of Solomon too. All right, no sweat. All right, so Solomon, right? King Solomon, he had a lot of wisdom, and the reason that he had a lot of wisdom, of course, is because the Lord blessed him with wisdom, right? Because that's what he asked for. I asked for that too. You know what I'm saying? But because he didn't ask for riches and things like that, and he asked for wisdom, the Lord blessed King Solomon with wisdom. And because King Solomon was the richest, king that ever lived on the face of this earth, he had time. He had time to think and consider things, right? So he had all the women that you could have, right? He had how many? 700 wives, something like that. 1,000 wives. Yeah. 300 concubines. He had all the women, and he realized at the end of the day, none of that matters. He had all the horses that you could have. He had all the gold, and he knew that at the end of the day, riches don't matter, right? And so these are the things that he understood because he had time to consider these things, right? Even death. He understands that, he understood about death and all those different things. But what we're about to read about right now is how you deal with a rich man. You know what I'm saying? You being the person that don't have money, right? And how you deal with a rich person, right? And the things to watch out for. All right, you got it.
It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 23 and verse 1. When thou sittest to eat with the ruler, consider diligently what is before thee. Right.
When you sit down with a brother who is over you, you're not in this is more specific, like think rich, you know what I'm saying? Think celebrity, you know what I mean? Think somebody like we're gonna put it in today's times, right? Think who we were talking about, right? Earlier when the class started. Go ahead.
And put a knife to thy throat, if thou be a man given to appetite.
Right. If you're a brother who's given to appetite, meaning that how like they say brothers sell their soul for a record deal, or brothers have unlawful sex. I'll put it like that. Unlawful sex with other men because they want money, right? Consider what's before you when you're dealing with a ruler, right? And if you're a man that's given to that, if you're a man that don't have integrity, or you're a man that's given to appetite, meaning fulfilling all your lust or doing whatever it takes so that you can benefit and enjoy your lust, then it's best that you just kill yourself, right? Put a knife to your throat, right? Keep going.
Be not desirous of his dainties.
Right, meaning this. Dainties, you know what that is, Kwayashwan? Your dainties is like the things you ever see like a rich man's table, or you see like a video where it'll show like a rich person's house, or where it's like they call it decadent feast. You know what I'm saying? Where you look at the table and the table got fruit and steak and lobster and shrimp, and you know what I'm saying, and all the and caviar and escargot and all that good stuff that look good and rich. You know what I'm saying? That's another man's dainties, right? Go ahead.
For they are deceitful meat.
Right. Remember, because all of this stuff that's on this table, all of these things that you can eat from this rich man, that's deceitful because there's something that comes along with that. You know what I mean? You don't get it for free. A lot of women, they think, oh man, look at these celebrities. Look at they popping bottles. Oh, like the what's they call the groupies. They see the celebrities popping bottles. They see them, eating shrimp, lobster, steak, all of that, and they want to be a part of that, right? But you gotta remember that comes along with something, right? It says for they are deceitful meat. Keep reading.
Labor not to be rich.
Mm-hmm.
Cease from thine own wisdom.
Right, meaning this. Don't just live your life to be rich. Now, if the Lord bless you with riches, fine. That's good. But don't live your life just trying to be rich or just make that about what your life is about. Your life is supposed to be about serving the Lord, keeping the commandments, right? And loving your brothers and your sisters as yourself, right? That's what life is about. Now, if the Lord bless you with riches, fine and good. You know what I mean? But don't spend your life trying to be rich. Like a lot of brothers, that's what they do. They just spend their life trying to get money, get to the bag. And in that pursuit to get to the bag, they're going to run across these things that we just talked about in the previous few verses. You know what I'm saying? You're going to run across another man and his dainties. And you're going to be the type of brother that's given to your appetite, right? Keep going.
Wilt thou set thine eyes upon that which is not?
Mm-hmm.
For riches certainly make themselves wings.
Mm-hmm.
They fly away as an eagle toward heaven.
All right. Anybody want to break it down?
I'll give it a shot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so for the riches, it's saying because rich people, they trust in their money.
Mm-hmm.
Their money's going to save them all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And
you right there. Bring me home. You right there, because the way you just set it up.
it's like the money for them is salvation.
That you right. You right about it. You right. You in the ballpark.
You went out. You out?
What? That's me.
No.
Okay, no sweat. So y'all good? All right, no sweat. All right. So when it says think the eagle. Think about it. It's flying away, right? Think about it like this. The read it one more time and I'll break it down. Verse 5.
Wilt thou set thine eyes upon that which is not?
Right, something that you don't have. Right. Go ahead. Which is the riches, right? Keep going.
For riches certainly make themselves wings.
Mm-hmm.
They fly away as an eagle toward heaven.
Meaning that this takes you further away from the Lord. If you're a brother that's just worrying about money all the time and worrying about riches, those riches are going to carry you and fly you further away from the Lord. Right? Keep going.
Eat thou not the bread of him that have an evil eye.
Mm-hmm. That's where your question was? Okay, keep going.
Neither desire thou his dainty meats.
Right. So this brother with an evil eye is a brother who doesn't give a damn about you. You know what I'm saying? His evil eye is like, he doesn't have brotherhood. He could care less about you. You know what I'm saying? And you gotta watch out for brothers like that who are rich. Right?
Right.
Keep reading.
For as he thinketh in his heart, so is he.
Right, like meaning this brother, he'll act like he got brotherhood. He'll act like he down with you, but that's not what's in his heart, which is his mind. You see what I'm saying? Oh man, yeah, man, you my brother, blah 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 blah. But at the end of the day, he's not really for you, right? And we're gonna keep reading. It's gonna explain it. Keep going.
Eat and drink, said he to thee.
Right, so he gonna say, man, go ahead and eat, man. You know what I'm saying? He gonna play like he your brother. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and eat, man. Go ahead, man. What you want? You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and enjoy yourself. Right? Keep going.
But his heart is not with thee.
Right, but his heart. He doesn't have brotherhood. He's not really with you like you think he is.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He's against you. You know what I mean? But he's using you, right? Because he knows that you want something from him. So he's gonna front like he's down with you and everything like that. But at the end of the day, he wants something from you,
Right.
or he wants you to do something.
Right.
It's gonna compromise your integrity, things like that. And a lot of people fall victim to that. They think, oh yeah, because you think, yeah, I just got to get up in VIP with these celebrities. But you know what comes with you going up in that what comes with you going up in VIP? You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have sex at the end of the night. That's what comes along with you being around a rich man like this. Or if you're a brother, he might want you to have sex with him. He might want you to go do something for him. Whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? His heart, his mind is not with you. But he'll tell you, he'll act like he's your brother, but he's really not. Any more? Go ahead.
The morsel which thou hast eaten shalt thou vomit up.
Meaning that by you believing in this brother and believing all of this stuff, it's gonna end up hurting you in the end. You know what I'm saying? And that's gonna be the end result. Let me see. Go ahead. Somebody had something? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if I may, like what that verse right there, like in verse 8, where it says the morsel which thou hast eaten, thou shalt vomit up.
Mm-hmm.
It means like to me that means like you swallowed up everything that he fed you, all that BS he was feeding you.
Yeah.
You ate it all up.
Mhm.
Now it's time.
And it's gonna end up hurting you because you're gonna throw it up.
Yeah.
Right. So this is talking about, like, you know, watching yourself, you know what I'm saying, and not being a person that's given to appetite, a man, you know, being a man with integrity. Like, you know how, like, oh man, I don't know, y'all, I know y'all seen y'all ever see The Wire? Do y'all remember when y'all remember Michael, right? Michael was the young boy who was following after he was on Marlowe's team. But remember when Marlowe came around and it was like school time. Remember, he was giving all the kids money. He's passing all the kids money, passing them all money. He gets to Michael and he counts out a couple hundreds and he gives it to Michael. Michael's like, nah, I'm good. And all the other kids like, whoa, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, look what he gave us. And then Michael was like, nah, I'm good. And he was like, what, you don't want my money? And he was like, nah, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Like that, if I could use an example, that's what I would say. You know what I mean? Like, don't be excited over what another man has, because men who has money, it's stuff that comes along with it. And what was coming along with that was what Marlowe was trying to do was he was trying to buy the kids, because later on he was going to use them for something. You know what I mean? And that's what men do who have money. They're not really for you. They're against you. I'm not saying that every man is like that, but you got to be careful. You know what I mean? And that's what the scripture is about. It's about being careful and not being a man that's so easily drawn away with money, because at the end of the day, it's gonna hurt you. And this person is gonna act like they're for you. They're gonna act like they're your brother, but at the end of the day, it's gonna end up hurting you in the end. Once you find out that all the BS they was feeding you didn't mean anything at the end of the day. All right. Hopefully that helped you out.
Sir.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so I try to compare that scripture to you know that verse when Christ told that one person that if you think about adultery, you commit adultery.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was kind of saying. I thought verse 7 was saying that.
Like when you know what that is, right? When you commit adultery in your heart, you know what that means?
No.
That means like you lusting over a woman, not knowing if she's married or not. That's what that is. So it's like when you see a woman, you be like, damn, I like to hit that. It's like you committing adultery already in your mind, because you don't know if this sister's single or not. She might got a husband. So the best thing before you start to do that is to ask her, yo, sis, you got a man? Or, you know what I'm saying, you single? And if she's single, then she's fair game. That's what that was about. That was more so like, let's just say if all of our ribs come in here, like you say all of our ribs, we in the party, and say we all in the party and all of us bring our ribs, and I've never seen Thushiem's rib, or Thushiem never seen my rib, and he see her and he like, damn, I like the way she walk, or I like the way, her behind look. He's committing adultery in his heart because he doesn't know that that's my rib. You get my point?
So does the Most High punish us for that? Like something you think about?
It's a difference between like an attraction and just lust. You know what I'm saying? Like you can see a nice looking woman, be like, oh man, she's a nice looking woman. Hey, sis, you got a man, that's different. But if you like, man, damn, and you know what I mean, and you lusting over because you like, damn, look at that tail. You know what I mean? And you don't know that if she has a man or not. So like, say for me, like I might see a sister and I'd be like, damn, she looks good. You know what I mean? And then that's just that. You know what I mean? It's like, damn, she look good. All right, cool. And then keep moving. Like I'm not like sitting there just like all over, and you know what I'm saying, and in my thoughts, like how she probably, look having sex or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta just you just gotta watch it. Watch it, what you lusting over. All right. Anybody else?
I don't know if I'm overthinking this.
Go ahead.
I don't know if I'm overthinking it, but like, can you think of it as Yahushua gave us the blueprint on how to keep the commandments and to gain the kingdom, and
right.
Solomon gave us wisdom on how to live life, and that's what this in Proverbs was how to live. It's
right.
To live life, so it wouldn't be a precept to what Yahushua was.
Right, because remember when Yahushua said that, what he's talking about the you commit adultery. Remember, it was at the time when we was in Rome. Remember, we was in Rome. Remember, he had to tell brothers, you know what I'm saying? If you leave your wife except for the cause of fornication, you commit adultery. Because at that time, remember, we didn't have brotherhood. We would just get with a girl and then have sex with her and then just get a divorce, get another chick. You know what I mean? And we was having sex with each other's woman. And what he was doing was just trying to strengthen the brotherhood and saying, if you lust after a woman, you know what I mean, you commit adultery in your heart. Because he was saying about brothers, like how us brothers are. So it's like, you know, you got to take the time to see if that sister is single before you start to lust over, because you could be lusting over another brother's rib. And that's like, and that protects the brotherhood too. Right. You know my point? All right, no sweat. We good?
Okay.
All right. You good back there, man? What's good?
I'm trying to find. I had a question, sir. I'm trying to find it.
Oh, okay, yeah, you look like he was back there searching through some stuff. All right, let me get 13. Ecclesiasticus 13. It's got a couple more scriptures in there. Call it. All right. Let me get there with you. Who was gonna read it? Ecclesiasticus 13.
We starting at verse 1, sir.
Let me see. Okay, verse 3.
Okay.
Hold on, let me see. All right, yeah, we started at 2.
Oh, God. It's the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 13, verse 2.
All right.
Burden not thyself above thy power while thou livest,
Mm-hmm.
and have no fellowship with one that is mightier and richer than thyself.
Hold on 1 second, y'all. 1 sec. All right, we good. Now they can hear you now.
Come.
Uh-huh.
It's the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 13, verse 2.
Mm-hmm.
Burden not thyself above thy power while thou livest,
Mm-hmm.
and have no fellowship with one that is mightier and richer than thyself.
Right. And going back into, dealing with these rich men again. You know what I'm saying? Dealing with these men who have a lot of power. You want to make sure you watch yourself. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
For how agree the kettle and the earthen pot together?
Mm-hmm.
For if the one be smitten against the other, it shall be broken.
Right. So this is talking about the earthen pot is like a pot made out of like what's that?
Clay.
Yeah, like and the kettle is iron.
Come.
If you go against that, the earthen pot's gonna break. Keep going.
Come. Verse 3. The rich man hath done wrong,
Mm-hmm.
and yet he strengtheneth withal.
He threatened withal.
Oh, threateneth, slack it. Yet he threateneth withal.
Meaning that the rich man could be wrong. He could be wrong, and then he'll be like, I want to give y'all the example, right? But I'm gonna give you an example like this, right? Like say like the rich man, he's wrong about something, but he'll be like, what he'll be wrong about something, but then he'll make it look like other people are wrong,
right?
And the other people will have to take it because he's rich and he has money. So it's like, what some blah blah blah. You know what I mean? Yeah, even like say I might be late, and I'm like, well, see, why ain't y'all got stuff done? Why ain't y'all got it together? You know what I'm saying? This is what I'm talking about. Y'all don't know what y'all doing. Y'all think you think you better than me. Oh, you think you better than me? See, this is what it is. Like, but I can get away with it because I'm rich, right? Mm-hmm. Keep going.
Can I add? Is it like that Kanye comment where he said that someone with less money than him can't tell him what to do or something of that manner?
Yeah, that's what we talking about.
This the exact
right. This is everything. All of that you just said. We talking about that right now.
Come.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Verse 4.
Mm-hmm.
No, Slocky,
No,
verse,
but the-
verse 3. The
Mhm.
poor is wrong, and he must entreat also.
meaning this poor man, he gotta apologize, he gotta beg for forgiveness, you know what I'm saying, he gotta do all of that because he's poor, you know what I'm saying. The rich man come in here, he like, well, why, he come in here late, or they might come, let's just say a celebrity comes to a club, they supposed to be there, people didn't pay for them to be here to do the performance, right? The club closed at 3, they pop up at 2:45. Then when they pop up at 2:45, they're like, see, this is what I'm talking about. Why y'all ain't at the door? This, why, you know what I mean? Blah, blah, blah. And everybody like, I'm sorry, sir. You know what I mean? I'm sorry. But see, my room ain't ready. It's supposed to be this, blah, blah, blah. And then the poor man, he has to concede because he's poor. You're rich, so you can, like it says right here, it says, the rich man have done wrong, and yet he threateneth withal. Meaning like now he's gonna act like you're wrong. Right? But the poor man, if he mess up, then he gotta apologize. He gotta be, super sorry. He gotta beg for your forgiveness. Right? Go ahead, keep reading.
Come. Verse 4. If thou be for his profit, he will use thee.
Right. So like if the rich man, if he can use you, he will. You know what I'm saying? He ain't gonna have you around if he doesn't feel like he could use you for something. You know what I mean? And that's what we have to be aware of, you know what I'm saying? Like he gonna have you around, but it's gonna be for something. They're not gonna have you around perhaps if you just around. Even when you get to a certain point, even if it's like friends that you might have had before you got the money, at some point they're gonna change. You know what I mean? And start saying, well, what are you here for? What can I use you for? Okay, can't use you for nothing. All right, you just gonna roll up the weed. You're just gonna be the certified weed blunt, the blunt roller. And you know what I mean? All you do is just everywhere we go, you just roll up the weed. You know what I'm saying? And you that's just be it. You know what I'm saying? Brother gonna keep you around if he can use you for something. Go ahead.
Come. But if thou have nothing, he will forsake thee.
Right. Y'all got that.
Verse 5. If thou have anything, he will live with thee.
Mm-hmm.
Yea, he will make thee bear,
Mm-hmm.
and will not be sorry for thee.
Mm-hmm.
For it.
Y'all pretty much get that, right? All right.
Verse 6. If he have need of thee, he will deceive thee.
If he have need of thee, he will deceive thee.
And smile upon thee.
Mm-hmm.
And put thee in hope.
Meaning like, okay, you know how okay, let's you ever see like somebody they'll act like, oh man, we're gonna do something, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, we're gonna have, I'm gonna put y'all in position, blah blah blah. And then as soon as something goes wrong, he like, who the F you think this is, man? This is my you know what I mean? y'all get where I'm going with that. This is my thing. You think you bigger than me? You think you bigger than this? What? You think you blah 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 blah? You know what I'm saying? He give you hope. Hope of what? Hope of attaining, getting some of that money that he got. So guess what? People will sit around. They'll sit around and listen to you because they hope that they're going to be able to get something out of you. So since they feel like they're gonna be able to get something out of you because you talk nice to them, like, man, I'm gonna set y'all up. Y'all gonna get your own rooms. I'm gonna set this whole thing up. Y'all gonna be rich. You gonna be rich. And they like, oh yeah, you know what I mean? We got hope. And then the minute that something goes wrong, he's gonna what? He's going to it says he's going to hold on.
Smile.
It says, if he have need of thee, he will deceive thee and smile upon thee and put thee in hope. Right? Mm-hmm. He will speak thee fair and say, what wantest thou? Meaning like, he'll speak to you, it's like, what do you want? You know what I'm saying? Whatever you want, I got you. You know what I'm saying? Just let me know. Anything you need, my brother, anything. I got you. Like that. Yeah, bring it in. You know what I'm saying? I got you, man. You know what I'm saying? You my dog. You know what I'm saying? I got you. He put you in hope of trying to achieve what he got. Go ahead.
Come on. Verse 7. And he will, verse 7. And he will shame thee by his meats.
Right, because of his money. He'll shame a sister. You know, what? You think you this, you think you that? What? This mush, S-H-I-T. This me. I built this. He'll shame you
Right.
because he'll shame you by his meats, like by what he has.
Right.
I built this.
Right.
This is I don't need nobody. He gonna shame you, and you're gonna have to sit there and take it because you in hope. He put you in hope. Go ahead.
If I could, sir, that's a lot of modern women too. Women in America, they think the same way. If I could.
Mm-hmm. Yep. He put you in hope. You know, modern women think like that. That's why they'll sit there and take it. We say something to a sister, it's like, I don't need this. I'm escaping a cult. A rich man say something to a woman, and she like, you're right. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You know, I didn't mean it. I don't think I'm big. I don't think, you know. And then, you know, you'll humble yourself real quick because he put you in hope because, you know, you wanted to get something. You know, you're a person that's you're a person that's given to appetite because you want something and this person is standing in the way of you getting it. So you'll bow your head to anything, you know, because, you know, but he's going to, what's that word? It says, and he will shame thee by his meats. Go ahead.
Come on. Until he have drawn thee twice, until he have drawn thee dry twice or thrice.
Meaning like he's gonna take from you. He's gonna take more and more from you, right? Like he's gonna keep taking from you, but he's not gonna put you on. You ever had a nigga? You ever seen niggas like that in the hood? Niggas that just they got you on the block, and they just and then after a certain point, you like, man, look, I want in. You know what I'm saying? I want to be able to buy, you know, my own, you know, work. And he's like, man, just stick with me just a little bit longer. Go ahead.
So like back in the day, we used to call that selling you pipe dreams.
Yeah, selling you pipe dreams. Just a little bit longer, man. Look, I just need you on my team, man, because we're gonna have everything set out, man. This is what it's gonna be, man. I'm gonna have you right. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be just like me, man. You know what I'm saying? You see what I got, man. I got houses, I got cars, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have you just like that. Oh, wow, this supposed to be your man's, but you busted in the club. He in here, you know what I'm saying, with nice clothes, glasses, designer shades, all that, and you in here like busted. You just the dude who just roll up. You know what I'm saying? You the roll up dude, and you're not looking that good. You know what I'm saying? And the women don't really want you. But sometimes I guess you can kind of get in there a little bit. You could be like, look, I can't get to him until y'all go through me or something. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot, I be seeing brothers like the rap entourage. You know, they'll do that. They'll tell a girl, look, man, you want to talk to Cameron, you're going to have sex with me first. You know what I'm saying? And the groupie, she'll do it too. She'll be like, all right, you know what I'm saying? You gonna introduce me to Cameron, right? You're like, yeah, I got you. Take her in the back room and, you know what I'm saying, and end up having sex with her and then be like, all right, I'm going to introduce you. Hey, yo, Cam, man. Yo, this is Goldie. You know what I'm saying? She a real cool chick, you know what I'm saying? He be like, oh, okay. What's up, Goldie? What's up with you? Let me see. Boom, boom. You know, Goldie's in there. You know what I'm saying? But what she had to go through to get there, you know what I'm saying? And so, like, I'm just using that as an example. Right. So brothers can understand what I'm saying. All right. Okay, go ahead. Read it from verse 7.
Come. And at the last he will laugh thee to scorn.
Mm-hmm.
Afterward, when he seeth thee, he will forsake thee and shake his head at thee.
Mm-hmm. Because he's gonna say, look at this, man. You know what I'm saying? This nigga don't have no integrity. And you gotta, and this is why it's so important, man. Like, it's so important. Like, I've never like been the type of person that can, you know, just submit myself like that. You know what I'm saying? To somebody just because they got money. Because even if a person got money, that don't mean they gonna give you none. You know how many, so many people, man, they just, you know, it's so many people around that was around Kanye West that never told him to just be quiet, man. Just shut up. You don't need to be talking all the time. You know what I'm saying? But they don't say nothing to him because they're in hope. They're in hope that they're going to get a shoe. You know what I mean? They're in hope that, you know, this is going to happen or that's going to happen as a result of him giving them something. And then so y'all ever heard? Y'all ever see? It was like a story that came out where they were saying like Kanye was tripping on the staff at Adidas. They were saying he was like running it like a cult, like he was running his company like a cult and all kinds of stuff. And they got to sit around and take ridicule because they're next to somebody who's famous. They're next to somebody who has money and wealth and all, wealth and fame and all that. And you'd be surprised, man, how shallow America is. And to Knox's point, is like, that's modern women. We don't even want the money. We just want to be next to somebody who's famous. Like I was watching this thing and they were saying that the number one thing, remember how when we was in school, they would ask kids, they would say, what you want to be when you grow up? Remember, it used to be like, I want to be a doctor. I want to be a firefighter. I want to be a cop or something like that. Now they ask and they're like, what you want to be? And kids, they said the number one thing that kids want to be is an influencer. It's an influencer. And you know what an influencer is? All an influencer is, when you really dig into it, is just a salesperson. An influencer be like, I just got my new makeup. Just got my new makeup. Seems like it's pretty good. Let me see. Yeah, it feels good on my skin. That's all an influencer is. It's just somebody with followers.
Right.
It's just followers. That's all it is. But the followers is vain. It's all vain. Like, okay. I had a brother tell me, right? He not in school, but he was like, yo, man. He was like, yo, I see you got 28,000 subscribers on TikTok, man. That's crazy, man. Yo, you got 28,000 followers. And I'm like, that ain't nothing. What's the point? What does it mean for me to have 28,000 followers if I can't get each follower to send me $1? You get my point? What's the point of you got 1 million followers and you can't get everybody to send you 50 cents? A quarter. You can't even get them to send you a quarter. So it's just really like, it just means absolutely nothing. It's like, yeah, you got 2 million followers, but can everybody send you $1? They won't even send you $1. So it's just a vanity number, just to say, oh, look, I got 2 million followers on YouTube. I mean, on Instagram or something like that. And so really, yeah, you might get endorsements and different things like that. You know what I mean? Being a sister, but what comes with it? What comes with it? You go in certain places, and you in these certain places, and they might invite you to like a vibe party or something like that, and you like, yeah, I'm an influencer, I'm in this party, but you in here with people that really got real money. And so now, what you think you're gonna do? If you want to go into certain places, if you want to get hired, past this whole thing, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to have sex with somebody. So it's like, what you willing to do to get your money. You know what I'm saying? Oh man, I had a scripture. That was pretty much it on that I had.
Okay.
It's like it. Let me look at this one real quick. Oh, okay. That's not what I wanted. You know what? I heard something today, man. It was kind of profound. This is off the topic though, but this dude said it was a dude, he had died or whatever, but they were doing like a montage of like different stuff that he did in his life, like as far as like music and all kinds of stuff. One thing he said was, he was like, and I actually wrote it down because I was like, damn, that's actually dope what he said. He said if if you have like as far as like working, like what you do to make money. And he said if you haven't figured out, hold on, let me see. I don't want to mess it up. He said if you don't believe in what you do, you haven't figured out what you're best at. You know what I mean? If you don't love what you do, you haven't figured out what you're best at in life yet. You know what I mean? And I'm like, damn, that's pretty dope. Because I'm thinking to myself, like, I was at my slavery, right? And they was like, they made us do a self-assessment, right? And this self-assessment is like mad long. It's supposed to, you're supposed to come up with all these goals that you want to do for the next year. It's kind of like, it's like a thing. It's like a assessment how you feel that you're doing at the job. And in this self-assessment, you give yourself like 3 stars, 4 stars, whatever, in different categories. Then you talk about what your goals are. And then after you're done, you submit it to the manager, and then the manager looks at it, and then they come back at what they feel your assessment is. And then you have a meeting, and then you talk about where you feel you're at and they tell you where they feel you're at. And then you use both of y'all information, and you come up with a plan for the future and which your goals in the future and what you want to do. And I'm sitting there thinking about, man, I'm filling all this stuff out, and it's like, they like, so what do you want to do like a year from now? And what's the goal for next year? And they actually got a date. They got you set the goal, the goal to they set the goal in 1/1/2023, and the goal was supposed to be accomplished by 12, such and such 2023. And I'm thinking to myself, and I'm sitting there writing stuff on there like, oh yeah, I want to learn how to program. You know what I mean? And I'm thinking to myself like, I do not want to do this shit. Slacky for my language. I don't want to do this, but I'm just like doing it because I don't got nothing else better to do. That's like crazy, man. If you can see me real quick. And the water, appreciate it. And that's why I am Slacky, y'all. I mean to, you know what I mean? But that's what was that's what had me thinking about that statement where when he said it was somebody out there. Oh. And that the water, I appreciate that. And that was like why I thought the statement was profound when he said, like if you don't believe in what you do, you haven't found out what you're best at. Most High in Christ. All right. Where's it gonna go? Who in here is not familiar with the parable of Lazarus? Yeah, everybody know the parable of Lazarus, the rich man.
I know it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure everybody was tight on it. We can go through it. Go ahead. Oh, okay. All right, you ready? You ready to read it? You ready to go into it? Let's go into it real quick, and then I'm gonna end it with that. All right. I wanted to make sure that everybody knew about it and how to break it down. This actually came up in Clubhouse, and you should have heard the breakdown. Oh man, it was a Clubhouse. You see everything in there, man. I went up in there one time. I seen Thushy M was on the stage, man, talking to some Christian dude, man, like. But the crazy thing about Clubhouse is that you'll hear anything like this one dude asked me a question. The question was so good. I was like, damn. Damn, that was a good question, man. You know what I'm saying? Because he was like, yeah, because when in the kingdom of heaven, when we come, he was like, in the kingdom of heaven, you know what I'm saying, we're gonna be in the clouds with the Most High and all that. You know what I'm saying? He was coming from like a Christian perspective. And I'm like, nah, what the kingdom of heaven is gonna be on earth, you know what I'm saying? I'm pulling the scriptures, blah, blah, blah. And remember Thushy M? Thushy M was in there at first. So dude is like, you know, he was talking about like coming back. Remember, he was talking about John the Baptist
Right.
and how John the Baptist.
This guy was
Right, yeah, and so you know, I pulled a scripture about how they didn't know that Elias was John the Baptist. He was John the Baptist, but he just was the same spirit, but he was just a different body. So he was like, yeah, because you know he couldn't wrap his head around that because he was like, you know, we all ascend into heaven and all that kind of stuff. So I'm like, nah, kingdom of heaven is going to be on here on earth. You know what I'm saying? And so he was like, so what you saying? Like, we not going to live forever? And I was like, nah, in the kingdom of heaven, we still going to die. We're still going to, you know what I'm saying? We're going to live a long life, but we're still going to die in the kingdom of heaven. He was like, nah, we, you know what I'm saying? We're going to live immortal. Like, we're going to live like forever. You know what I'm saying? So then he was like, so you said we're going to die in the kingdom of heaven? I'm like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? And then I pulled the scripture about where it said the kid's 100 years old and all that. And I was like, yeah, because I was like, you're going to die, but you're going to be able to live through your kids. You know what I'm saying? So he was like, so you said we ain't never going, that we are going to die. I'm like, right, we are going to die in the kingdom of heaven. So he was like, so is Christ going to die in the kingdom of heaven? So I'm like, I'm thinking about it, right? I'm like, damn, that's a good question. So I'm like, damn, you know what I'm saying? That's a great question. And so he was like, you know, so I'm thinking, it's like I'm racking my brain because I'm like, so I didn't know what to really say. So I'm like, so I didn't know what to say. So to save face, I was like, well, you're going to have to show me the scripture on that. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have to show me the scripture. You're going to have to show me the scripture.
yes, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm telling you, when I get a question like that,
Yeah.
Captain Cesario is always there.
Mm-hmm.
He'll pop up.
Yeah.
And then, you know how I do?
Yeah.
I say, well, he can answer way better.
Yeah, because you know you can't let them see you. You know what I mean? You can't let them see you sweat. Yeah.
He can answer way better than I can. This is who I learned from.
Yeah.
So like you said, can you handle that?
Yeah.
Come right in and handle it for me.
Yeah.
Twice.
So he was like, so I'm wrecking my brain because I'm like, well, damn, if Christ lives forever, that's gonna be like some vampire, like a, you know what I mean? Like, not saying he's gonna be a vampire, but you know, like a vampire just lives forever and ever and ever, like just never die, like you just alive and you just never die, never get old, you just are. And so I didn't really know how to answer that. So I went and got counsel on it. Go ahead.
When you come back and get the second kingdom up, though?
Yes, okay. I went and got counsel on it. I was like, yo, this question, I don't know how to answer that question. And he was like, and the you know what I'm saying, I went up, you know what I'm saying? They was like, yeah, Christ is never going to die. And then he said, and then they was like, to be straight, to be perfectly honest, Christ been resurrected ever since he resurrected from the cross. So Christ actually has been alive for thousands of years, you know what I mean? And Christ, it sounds like, oh, okay. So now I look at it that way. I'm like, okay, so yeah, in the kingdom of heaven, Christ ain't gonna die. I was like, damn, you know what I'm saying? But I couldn't really wrap my head around it at first. I was like, damn, you know what I mean? That was a great question. So, you know, what's that called? Clubhouse, you know what I'm saying? You gotta, it's like, I think they must just smoke weed or something, you know what I'm saying? So they just think of like the most craziest, outlandish questions to just ask, you know what I mean?
You gotta be ready, sir.
Yeah. Salaki, if I could, this sister asked me this one question. She was like, we were talking about Donald Trump and him taking the taking Mexico's land and then telling the Mexicans that they were illegal immigrants. So I was like, you know, and I'm talking about it. I'm like, yeah, because this is their land, you know what I'm saying? And you know, the oppressor came and they took their land and blah blah blah. And so she was like, yeah, but when we came out of Egypt and we went into the promised land, wasn't that somebody else's land? And then we take their land and then move them out? I'm thinking to myself, God damn. I'm like, God damn.
I want to, because I thought about that.
Yeah.
I had a result. Somebody asked me that too.
Mm-hmm.
I thought about it, and I
I had a response. I want to hear what you say first.
Right. So I was like, you know, she was like, well, then we took their land. So what's, and she was like, and nobody, she was like, nobody gets their land took unless the Most High ordains it.
Right.
So she was basically saying that the Mexicans got their land took because because the Lord wanted them to get their land took by the oppressor, and we shouldn't be mad at it because the Lord ordained it. So we can't be mad at Donald Trump or the oppressor for kicking the Mexicans out because the Lord gave him the power to do it. So I was like, okay, I was like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? You right. You know what I'm saying? But why? You know what I'm saying? But why did we get kicked out? You know what I'm saying? Why did the Lord ordain for us to get kicked out? Because we didn't keep the commandments. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, we wanted to follow after other gods and different things like that. So she was right, but I was able to flip it, you know what I'm saying, back to say, you know, well, why did we get put in that position? You know, why did we get put in a position to get kicked out of our land? And we got put in the position because we didn't keep the commandments. And because we didn't keep the commandments, yes, we brought it on ourselves. You know what I mean? So I kind of, sometimes people will hit you with stuff that'll be like totally right. You know what I mean? But you got to be seasoned enough and just kind of listen. Like a lot of times I just listen. I go to rooms and just listen to the, you know, men above me or whatever, and just really just only speak when I, you know what I'm saying, when I can or whatever. But for the most part, like certain stuff like that, it's just good to just get counsel. You know what I mean? If you can. But yeah, you can't lose. You can't lose on Clubhouse. Even if they get you up with some shit that you never heard. Let's see. All right, no sweat. All right, so let's read it. Luke 16. Trying to think if we ain't got time. All right, we'll just go down to. All right, I'll break it down for you real quick. All right, let's go ahead. It's from Luke 16 and 19.
Luke chapter 16 and verse 19.
Mm-hmm.
There was a certain rich man which was clothed in purple and
Mm-hmm.
fine linen, and fared sumptuously every day.
Mm-hmm. So it's a parable, right? You know what is a parable? You know what a parable is? It's like an illustrated story that has a deeper meaning in it. This is the way Christ taught. You know what I'm saying? He didn't teach the way what we're reading right now is how Christ actually taught on the street. He didn't speak plainly. He spoke in parables. You know what I mean? So that people couldn't get it. Just the common person wouldn't be able to understand. So that's literally how he's out there speaking. He's like, there was a certain man who was clothed in purple. You know what I mean? And fared sumptuously. Go ahead.
Verse 20. And there was a certain beggar named Lazarus.
All right. So the rich man is the Sadducees and the Pharisees, right? The Sadducees and the Pharisees, you know who they were, right?
Those were the people that went against Christ.
Right. But but who were they though?
They teach the people.
But yeah.
That's what I know.
They were the religious leaders. So who would they be today?
Pastor.
Right. Like the pastors, you know, T.D. Jakes, you know, men with power. T.D. Jakes, Creflo, you know, Juanita Bynum, Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson, all of them. They would be the Sadducees and the Pharisees. They would be the Pharisees because they are like the religious leaders over black people. Because in America, that's how the hierarchy goes. Like we're ruled by Christianity, you know what I'm saying? And the people that's over top of Christianity for the black community is T.D. Jakes, it is Creflo, it is, you know, Jesse Jackson, it's all of them collectively, you know what I'm saying? And so when black people get out of line, they're there to put you back. You know what I'm saying? Because they have a good seat with America. You know what I mean? They have money and houses and cars, and sit on top of committees and TV shows on on a national level and all kinds of things like that. So this is who they would be today. All right, keep going.
Verse 21, and desiring to be fed with the crumbs which fell from the rich man's table.
All right, so there was a certain beggar named Lazarus. Lazarus is he's a poor man. But this poor man, he's looking up to them, right? And all he wants is the crumbs that's off of their table, right? The rich man's table, right? Read it one more time from 20.
Verse 20, and there was a certain beggar named Lazarus, which lay at his gate.
Right. So this is the poor man. I mean, Lazarus is the nation of Israel, right? The nation of Israel, right? They're looking up to this rich man, and they're just they're laid at his gate, right? He's a poor man. Go ahead.
Full of sores.
Right.
And desired to be fed with the crumbs which fell from the rich man's table.
So the sores, right? Let me get a precept. Isaiah 1 and 6. Isaiah 1 and 6. Let me check it out too. I believe that's the one that we need. Isaiah 1 and 6. Yeah. I like that. So
Isaiah chapter 1, verse 6.
mm-hmm.
From the sole of the foot even unto the head, there is no soundness in it, but the wounds and the bruises and the putrefying sores.
So it says, from the sole of the foot even into the head, there is no soundness in it. It's talking about the body, right? Like the body of Israel, right? It says, but wounds and bruises, right? And putrefying sores. You see that? Go ahead.
They have not been closed, neither bound up, neither mollified with ointment.
Meaning that we have the nation of Israel, we have sores that haven't healed, right? And we have these things on our body that, the sores, they just never heal. You know what I mean? That's pretty much how life has always been here. We just people that just never get healed, right? Keep going. I mean, I think that was it. That was a precept for it. All right, so we can go back to Luke, the 16th chapter. I'm just breaking it down kind of fast for time's sake, but just giving you the gist of it. All right. 16 and 21.
Verse 21, and desiring to be fed with the crumbs which fell from the rich man's table.
Right. So, the nation of Israel, we just was desiring, because, like the rich of Israel, you know what I'm saying? We sit at their, we're at their gate, and we just desiring to just eat the crumbs off their table. Right. Keep going.
Moreover, the dogs came and licked his sores.
Right. So the dogs are the other nations. Right. But if a dog licks your sores, does that heal the sore?
No.
It just kind of soothes it, right? So it's like, and that's how we are today. Like how we are today is just like that. Like meaning this, right? Like living in America is hard, right? It's hard to live in America, right? It's hard to have kids in America. But the other nations will say, okay, well, since it's hard for you, then here, take this abortion. Right? That's them licking the sores. It's not gonna fix your problem, but it's gonna soothe it, right? Because why would you want to bring a kid into the earth, seeing being as though you're poor and you don't have a life, and why would you want to bring another life into this world when your people are so downtrodden and walked over? So why would you? So here, take abortion. You know what I'm saying? So it's like the other nations that are around us, they lick our sores just to soothe for a minute, but it's not something that actually fixes. All right, keep going.
Verse 22, and it came to pass that the beggar died and was carried by the angels into Abraham's bosom.
Right. So the beggar is the nation of Israel, right? And the brothers who, and they went and they got the promises because they served the Lord, and they got the promises. That's Abraham's bosom. That's the promises. Go ahead.
The rich man also died and was buried. And in hell he lifted up his eyes, being in the torments.
Right. So that rich man who he died and was buried. See the difference? It was the people who, you know, the poor people, the nation of Israel, who got the promises, but then you had the rich man who just died and he was buried. So it's separating the two, right? Go ahead. And maybe I might need to break this down a little bit slower. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just kind of going through it a little bit quick because of time. All right, go ahead.
Being in torments and seeing Abraham afar off,
Mm-hmm.
and Lazarus in his bosom.
Right, because the poor people are now in the covenant now. You know what I mean? Because what's going to happen is, and I'll just kind of sum it up or whatever, because we could go all the way down, but yeah, I don't have enough time. But we could go all the way down, but pretty much what this is talking about is how in the kingdom of heaven there's going to be a switch. The people that are the poor people now, and you know, and I guess it kind of ties into what we're talking about rich people and stuff like that. It's kind of like in the kingdom of heaven, things are going to switch. And now Lazarus, who is the poor man, he's going to be put in the position that's going to be over the people who were rich, and the rich people are going to take the position of Lazarus. Get my point? And that's how it's going to be in the kingdom of heaven. We're all going to be there, but we're going to have different what's that word I'm looking for? Different positions. You know what I'm saying? In the kingdom of heaven. But yeah, just what I would say is just read it through, you know what I'm saying? And then just come back next Thursday or whatever, or you know, anytime throughout the week if you can get here, and then we'll go over it again, but we'll go over it more slow, you know what I'm saying? And then I'll pull out all the precepts for you. Just don't have enough time tonight. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and end it there. If anybody got any other questions? No, we good? All right, no sweat. I'm gonna turn the class over to Precinct Officer Thashiyam.
All right, it's the ISUPK security announcements. Rules for new brothers and new sisters. When a new brother and new sister come into the school, they are off limit for 6 months. They are here to learn and to shape themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if you have an interest in a particular person, seek counsel. Seek counsel from the head. Tithing, which is 10% of any income that you earn. Malachi 3:8-10, and Numbers 18-21. All right, that's Ma'asharah. That's 10. Means 10 in Hebrew. That's 10% of any increase you get. All right. Priest fund is not mandatory. Whatever amount you would like to give, you may give. All right. We got the up and coming holy convocation. As of right now, we in Smyrna, but that may change. We may wind up going to Philly for the feast of dedication. All right. So if you're coming out, just stay in tune. All right.
And then also too, like if you're gonna bring something, if we do end up going to Philly, then you know what I'm saying, like still do like you would normally do. Like if you was gonna bring something anyway, whatever you was gonna dedicate to the temple to, you can do it. We still gonna do that. Everybody, you know, should donate something to the school. We're gonna donate it down in Smyrna. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever you want to buy, like, you know, it could be whatever. You know what I mean? It could be, I don't know.
Right. So like if I may say,
Yeah.
we need ornaments for the table. Because we got a really big table in Smyrna, real big table. Kash, he already bought some apocryphas, so they, you know, stuff is starting to come in.
Yeah, like that type of stuff.
Yeah, but right now that's what we need. We need Bibles and we need things for the table for our priestly duties. All right. So if anyone wants to be a troop, Salakia, that's the 17th on. That's not this Saturday. But the following Saturday is the Feast of Dedication. I just wanted to make sure that we brought that out. So just stay in tune, and we're going to let y'all know exactly what we're going to be. If we're going to be in Smyrna or we're going to be in Philly. All right. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black boots, pants, scarf, and headband, and saying that, we're going to give the brothers a courtesy salute. Amijah means to stand. Amijah Shabbat. Amijah, Barak.
Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai Barakathon.
Yom Matah, arms down. Star means to turn. Amijah, that means to stand to the sisters. We're gonna get the sisters a courtesy salute. Amijah Shabbat. Amijah, Barak.
Yahweh Shema on the thumb by Shem Yahushua.
Yom Matah, class dismissed.